This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something.
For ASM?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't gone back to visit it, but that's great.
That was a thing to remind us, Connie, about adding the video to the help part, right? To the we added the playlist since I made I think 10 videos yesterday, just very brief, walking through the core functionality and the things that it does. Actually, and I don't know if Arafin, if you want to show them, but we yesterday or a couple days ago, because I was watching that video from Nate talking about how crazy good Claude's Opus 4.6, I think it was, how good it was and how big the context menu was. So I used, ironically, ASM to hack it all up and push it to the clipboard, and I gave it to Claude and said, hey, give us any suggestions on, things that need to be optimized or issues with, that you might see. So it gave us some interesting things that I think there were a couple that Irfan was going to ask Isaias about if we really should implement them or not. Right.
Okay, so let me share my screen first. So the first thing it gave us to take care of the local and the global variables. So these are the change that it asked me to do. So define them local. And I think whenever I define something here, it's already local and there is no point to do it, but let's ask Isaias. So you can see. And it only suggested it specifically for the Scintilla library. No other code he touched for this thing.
Right. So one of the things regarding local, there is one situation in which you want to be explicit about the variable being local and it is when that name that you're using is also being used as a global variable. Because remember, now AutoHotkey v2 has this weird thing in which global variables, well, it's not weird. If it is a global variable, you can access it inside functions with just calling it, at least to get the information out of them without modifying them, right? And
yes.
if you use the same name for a local variable, there are some very specific situations in which that might be not confusing, but it would not do what you're expecting it to do. By you defining them explicitly local, you can have the same name inside the function and outside the function. I don't think you're using the same names outside.
Yes.
And this might be a situation in which AI is just being thorough, or it has seen a lot of code that does this. But normally you don't have to do this. And there's only certain conditions in which I would definitely do it just to avoid ambiguity. But I don't think that's a problem.
So let me explain to the audience about the global variable. So message box for one, and I define it outside.
Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make the text bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there we go.
So what I can do here, I can call this function, and you will see that. Okay, what is it? What it is?
Are you in V1? Yeah, the requires is V1.
Okay, let me remove that.
Just remove it.
Just remove that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see that it is. I can access it, but I cannot modify it. So if I try to modify that,
modify it.
No, if I modify, okay. So XYZ, and then it becomes local already, I think.
It is automatically local, but here's the thing. If you have a message box outside of the function call, like on line 6, make a new message box bar. Yeah, below the function call. There. now var1 is still going to contain ABC.
ABC,
Right.
yeah.
And now
So
inside the function, you can also have a message box call there. Just copy the message box inside the function. Copy it, right? Put it below var1 there. So you should get two different message boxes right now. XYZ, but that doesn't modify it, so you should get ABC, right? So you made it local by default because you cannot automatically modify the function, the variable outside of the scope like this, right?
Mhm.
But there are situations in which you want to make it local. So you can say inside the function definition, local var1. Now var1, yep. I think
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
There you go. So now you're telling AutoHotkey, even if I modify local var1, no, that will fail.
Yeah, that will
var1
fail because we need to
Yeah,
define the var1.
Exactly, because var1 is not defined. And that, and hold on, stay there. You just showed exactly what we needed to show. Look,
Yeah.
var1 in the first example, you could do message box var1 inside the function and it would give you whatever was out there, right? But just because you said this is a local variable, now it hasn't been defined, and now it's going to say, hey, this hasn't been defined at all. Now, if you comment line 10, just comment it, it will work. You see that?
Yeah, it is accessing the global variable.
It is accessing the global variable automatically. By you saying local var1, you remove that automatic feature, and now it is going to say, okay, you're going to access var1. Hey, you haven't defined it in this scope, so I don't know what you're referring to, because you didn't actually add any value to it. If you want, you can add a value right away, which then it would behave exactly as the other example. But this is exactly why you would need to do this in cases where you want to make sure that your code does not access anything outside of the scope by mistake, because sometimes you might have a value there that you're not expecting, right? So let's say that you have a variable outside called default name, but inside your function, you are going to use default name as well, but you don't want it to have whatever value it has from the global scope, right? So that's your default name in general. But in this function, you don't want the default name to be Irfan, right? You don't want that. So then at that point, what you have to do is to say, you know what, default name is a local variable. And for that reason, don't even try to access it from the outside. I will define it in this scope and it should be something else. But that's the only situation. It's a very specific edge case.
Well,
And this would only make sense if you have a lot of variables in the global scope that you also use them inside your functions, and you don't want that automatic feature to kick in, right?
yeah, I would say, to me, this it obviously in this example, it's a dumb example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know you're there, right? But like in something like ASM, where there's two main points. One is it's over 17,000 lines. So it's really quite possible Irfan, who's the main developer on this, might forget that he did have a global variable somewhere with that. Or let's get crazy, Joe decides he's going to go code something and I'm not aware of the variables, right? So that's where I totally get how on a bigger thing, whether it's just for the programmers, ability to remember the other variable, or other people are working on it, that
Right.
why you would go ahead and define these. And then, because I totally get your point, is this, it'd be like the whole V1 failing without telling you it failed, because it pulls, it pulled something you didn't expect, right? And you're like, yeah, that it didn't fail because it actually didn't have a value, but the value wasn't what you thought.
It's not what you were expecting, right? So this also happens when you have a closure. So inside my function, just add a return, and then at the end, just add a return. And now define another function. So inside that, just new line and define a new function inside. So this is what a closure is, right? What happens with these guys is that they automatically pull all the variables that are inside the scope above as if they were. So right now you can call default name, and it should call the Isaiah's name in there, even if you didn't declare it inside this closure, which has its benefit, it has its stuff, but yeah.
So this is might complicated for some guys because this is local for my function, but for this new function, this variable is global under this scope.
Yeah. in this scope, right?
In this scope.
Interestingly, notice that, and let me just try to annotate here. Can you scroll just a little bit up? Right. So remember that you defined a global variable here, var1. Now you made it local here. What do you think new function is gonna assume? So if you do a message box var1 right now.
It will gonna throw error.
var1. Just do var1. Which one is it loading? Is it loading that one or is it loading the global one?
Because it will tell me it is not defined.
Exactly. That's what I'm expecting too. So Isaiah, keep going, and now it's going to say
this not defined.
Has been defined.
Yeah.
Because even though you have a global variable somewhere, we just said on line 10, you know what? That global variable, never use it. It's a local variable to my function, and we haven't defined it. So yes, this is a little bit of a complex topic about scopes, but if you want to make sure things behave as expected, naming them local when they are local makes sense in certain situations. All right. So whatever AI did is not wrong. It's a very specific edge case that we don't usually fall into that trap, but we could by mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Irfan, I don't remember. I think there was something else. Explore our huge library of 466 plus hours of recorded AHK tutorials. Watch, rewind, and master tricks at your own pace. Members enjoy a sweet 25% discount on everything we offer, from in-depth courses to ready-made scripts and pro services.